With the retreat of the glaciers from Michigan about 10,000 years ago, came the Indians and the beginning of our great forests. The levels of the Great Lakes moved up and down spectacularly as ice dams melted and the outlets rose from the removal of the weight of the glaciers. Little else changed, however, until the beginning of the 17th century, when a new kind of man suddenly appeared. They were adventurers and came from France. They were traders like Etienne Brule, soldiers like Jean Nicolet, and priests like Frère Louis Hennepin. While English-speaking colonists clung to a narrow strip of land along the Atlantic Ocean, the French were found from the Gulf of St. Lawrence to the Gulf of Mexico, and from the Appalachian Mountains to the Rockies. Generally, they lived in harmony with the Indians, teaching Christianity and trading manufactured goods of Europe for a fortune in furs. In 1673, the missionary Jacques Marquette and the explorer Louis Jolliet set out to explore the Mississippi. On the return trip, Marquette fell ill and is said to have died at the mouth of the river which bears his name. 2 years later, his body was disinterred by Kiskin Indians and flesh removed from the bones, as was their custom. The bones were transported in a great procession to St. Ignace and were reburied in the mission chapel there. At about the same time, another explorer, Robert de La Salle, dreamt of turning his land of New France into an empire. He and his lieutenants, Henry de Tonty and Jean-François Bourdon de Autry, made numerous trips through what is now Michigan on their way to and from the Mississippi. It was probably de Tonty and his trip of 1679 who was responsible for the identification of the location of the river of Pierre Marquette on the French maps of that era. Other French explorers included Pierre Charlevoix and William Cuvier. Cuvier was a fur trader associated with Louis Campeau. According to his descendants, he built a log cabin in the Claybanks area of Buttersville in 1835. He later returned with his family and became Mason County's first postmaster and coroner. His cabin is now preserved at historic White Pine Village.